Here to talk about those Falcons and how they move forward after a brutal loss on Sunday. Let's say Good Morning Football. It's a Huffington Post sports columnist, Jordan Schultz, joining the table.
What's up, brother?
Hey, Jordan.
I got game Schultz.
Oh, yeah.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
You liked the Falcons.
I do like the Falcons.
You liked them
Still
going
do?
into this game. Let's cut right to the chase. What happened there? What happened?
Well, I didn't buy into the argument at all that they stopped playing. I didn't like that argument. I think they got tired. The defense was on this field 93 snaps.
Tired?
I don't care who you are.
It's the Super Bowl.
I know,
Jordan.
but the defense was.
Hey, don't come on GMFB with this.
They were gassed. Because you know what? The man coverage, that man lurk coverage, you had Jones in the middle, that was working. They just got gassed.
Yeah.
The pass rush was getting home with Jarrett. Beasley was a factor.
Yeah.
But late in the game, when it really mattered, Brady picked them apart, and the defense had nothing left.
Now, what about the offense? We got the best offense we've ever seen in our lifetime, and they completely shut down after the Tevin Coleman touchdown. Nothing.
Yeah.
What happened to those guys?
Well,
You got the MVP quarterback, Jordan.
Well, the offense, to me, was the bigger story because I think the whole identity of Atlanta this year wasn't just the fact that they were able to throw the ball. It was play action. It was running the ball. They were 5th in the league in rushing. Devonta Freeman was a Pro Bowler. Tevin Coleman's a great slasher. They were both effective in the game, and they got away from that late. That, to me, was a surprise. And Peter Schrager had that great tweet out.
Wild
They
stat,
called
Peter
5 running plays. What was it when they were after their
28-3? They called 5 running plays. The rest
That's
of
incompetence.
And that, to me, was the biggest surprise because when Matt Ryan says we were trying to be us, I love that. They were being aggressive. But being aggressive is also running the ball down a team's throat and then going play action again, and they got away from that. That hurt them.
So everyone knows about the Patriots. They had a team party at NRG Stadium afterwards, and Snoop Dogg showed up, and Lil Wayne was there, and it was great. People don't know this. The losing teams have parties also. Like, it's not a party, but they have a gathering for everyone in the family. And I got to ask you, you got people in the Falcons organization. What was it like those immediate 12 hours after the loss?
I think they handled it as well as they possibly could have, and it reminded me of how Seattle tried to handle it after Super Bowl 49 in Arizona.
Yeah.
This is a similar situation. You know, not quite the same, but similar. You feel like you got the Super Bowl ripped from you. And I spoke with Thomas Dimitroff after the Super Bowl. I was so impressed with the way they were trying to not necessarily move on, but address it. And then what Dan Quinn said in his press conference, we built a foundation. This is our time now we want to think about it, but we also want to move on. We don't want to dwell on it. And that, to me, was a big deal. But it's obviously it's just sad when you're in Atlanta. It's not anger.
That's the word. It is the word.
Sad.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Because you think of these guys, and, we sat next to Matt Ryan's parents at the NFL Honors K.
Yeah.
So happy.
They were so happy. They were
The night before,
and it's 28-3, and you think there's actual people inside of them. There's people inside that they had this horrific thing happen. Now, all things in perspective, life is a game. It's great. But in football terms, that is as bad as it gets.
You know, I went to visit Pete Carroll and covered him a little bit a few months after Super Bowl 49, and I got the sense that that's when it hit him more. Not necessarily the days after, but when it was a few months later.
Makes sense.
Getting ready for the next season. But, Dan Quinn obviously intertwined with Pete Carroll to a high level. They both have that positivity mentality. Pete Carroll with John Schneider, Quinn with Thomas Dimitroff. I think that plays in really well for the movie.
There's something we talked about here on the show, Jordan. I'll put you on the spot. What do you think is harder to get over? Pete Carroll made one wrong play call, I mean, the Seahawks, essentially. If they run the ball, they win the Super Bowl. Or a quarter and a half of meltdowns to lose the Super Bowl. There's two different types of shortcomings. Which one do you think is worse?
I think it's the former. I think it's really, really hard.
You think Seattle?
Because when you go back to that, it's one play. It's just everybody points to that.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a quarter and a half of football. It's just one thing. Everybody agreed. Give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. With Atlanta, it was a series of things that happened. It was a strip sack. It was, the holding penalty. There's not one thing you can point to. For me, that's why it was Seattle.
Series of unfortunate events.
You're right.
Lemony Snicket's.
Nate, you saw it. It's pretty good.
I tried.
Kind of like Nate's rap. A series of unfortunate.
No. Now we got something.
See, I had the baby gloves on, but now I'm taking
I liked it. I liked Nate Dogg's rap.
He's going to wrap him in broken glass.